So let's jump right into this lesson. Today we are talking about sus chords and all of the different functions and uses for them, what they are, where you can use them in a song. We're talking about everything related to sus chords today. So let's jump into this lesson. So just to start off, the simplest form of a sus chord is this. It's built off of a basic triad, right? A major chord. So if you have a major chord, you can build a sus chord by just taking the third. So right here we have C major. You just take the third of any major chord and you can move it down to the second or up to the fourth. And that gives you sus chords, different types of sus chords. So this is a C sus 2 because I moved the third to the second. And this is C sus 4, all right, because I moved the third to the fourth. So that's all it is. Sus is short for suspended, and it means that I'm taking the third and I'm either moving it down to the second, moving it up to the fourth, or even a combination of both. So if you hear it, this sus chord, it sounds like it says suspended. It sounds like it's kind of tense, like it needs to go somewhere, right? So that's what this is going to be used for. Like the main purpose of a sus chord is like instead of like a 5-1 progression where you have tension and release, you can use a sus chord instead to create tension, a little bit of tension, and then resolve it. So that's the purpose of a sus chord. You're just providing tension or dissonance to help you resolve a chord progression or to help add movement to your playing. So now that we know what a basic sus chord is, let's move it forward a little bit. Let's talk about some more, a little bit more advanced concepts or just harmonies that we can get from sus chords. All right. So we have a basic triad that we can make a sus. So you can have a sus 2, right? Just taking the third, moving it down to the second, or a sus 4. But what if we wanted to add more notes, wanted to add more harmony? What we could do is add the seventh. So where our basic one was built off of the major triad, we can build a sus chord off of a dominant chord, all right? So if we have a dominant chord, we have our, root, flat 7th, 3rd, and 5th, right? This is our dominant chord. So it's the same concept. We're just taking the third, moving it to the fourth, or the second, and those gives us sus chords, all right? So now we have a C7 sus 2 or C7 sus 4, all right? So that's a little bit more advanced. We're adding more harmonies. We have that seventh in there to give us some more flavor, some more sound. So the quickest way to think about this the 7 sus chord is take whatever chord you want to play. So in this case, I'm playing C, right? A C sus chord, C7 sus. I just take that chord, I put the root in my left hand, and then I'm going to go down. In my right hand, I'm going to go down a whole step from the root note. So I'm going from C, a whole step away from C is B flat. And I make a major triad based off of that note, off of B flat. And that gives me a shortcut to a sus chord. So this is C7 sus. All right, so let's take it, let's use that with F. Let's say I wanted to play F sus, F7 sus. I go to F in my right hand, go down a whole step, that's E flat's a whole step away from F, make a major triad, that gives me F sus, all right? With that dominant 7, the 9, or the 2, and the 4th. Okay, let's do one more. If I'm using B flat, if I want to play a B flat sus chord, right? I'm gonna take B flat in my left hand, go to B flat in my right hand, go down a whole step from B flat. That's a flat. Make a major triad, and that gives me B flat sus. All right, B flat 9 sus, or B flat 7 sus, whatever you want to call it. So kind of you got a feel for that, right? You know how to find sus chords. That's a very quick and easy way to find sus chords. But like, you're probably wondering, Elijah, how do I use this in a song? Why does this matter? Why is it useful? So let me just play you a song where I can overload it with sus chords. So for this song example, I'm going to be using the gospel song, Thank You, Lord, or I Just Want to Thank You, Lord. And I'm going to be in the key of E major. All right, so that is I Just Want to Thank You, Lord. So let's look at that and see where the sus chords are in this song and see where we can throw them in at. So let's just walk through this. We have thank you. Actually, no, we did 1, thank, to the 3, to the 6. So right there, you know, you could do 1, 7, 3, 6, right? But instead, I was like, man, let me just put a sus chord. 1 to the 3. We just went straight to the 3. And since we're holding on the 3 for a little while, what I can do is put a sus chord in there to help me transition to the 6 chord. All right, so the 3 is a passing chord. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing a G sharp, the 3, because this is 1, 2, 3, G sharp. So I'm playing the G sharp sus. So what did I do? Remember, we just took G sharp, went G sharp in the right hand and left, went down a whole step to F sharp. All right, and then I'm inverting it. So this is my voicing for G sharp sus. It's my G sharp sus chord. And then what I'm doing is I'm resolving that down to a G sharp dominant, specifically G sharp 7 with a flat 9. All right, so that's 1 G sharp sus to G sharp altered, or G sharp 7 flat 9 to the 6. And then really what I'm doing here, this is another sus chord on the 6, but I kind of play like a rootless voicing. All right, so what I'm doing here is essentially I'm just playing the 6 chord now, and I'm doing this same movement, sus to dominant, which is C sharp 7 sus. So here what I'm doing is playing like an F sharp triad, which gives me my 4th, which is, you know, the suspended note. But I'm also adding the 6th or the 13th, which is another suspended note that you can add. Okay? So remember, C sharp is kind of my bass now. So I'm playing C sharp sus, 7 sus. That resolves down to C sharp 13 kind of. All right, but I'm playing this rootless voicing. So this is in basic voicing, C sharp 7 sus to C sharp 13. And then the rootless voicing was right here. My sus chord, C sharp sus rootless. And then this is the C sharp dominant in rootless voicing. All right, so 2 ways to play that. And then that goes to the 2. And I think I played the 2 like that, or something like that. So one more time, what we have so far. 1, 3, sus, 3 dominant, 6. 6 sus with the rootless voicing to 6 dominant. Or let me play it in root position. Sus to dominant to the 2 chord. So those are the first 2 sus chords that we use. So let's keep on going. See where else we have sus chords at. Thank you, Lord. There's a sus chord right there. 2. Dominant 2. 5. 3. 3. 6. 6 dominant. All right, so here we are. 2, 3, 4. Sharp 4. And you can do something like that. So I just want to thank you, Lord. So right there on the 5 chord, I'm doing a walk up. 2, 3, 4, sharp 4. When I hit the 5, instead of going straight to like a dominant chord, what I can do is go to a sus chord. So B sus to the 5. So sus to dominant again. Sus dominant. And then to the 1. And instead of going directly to the 1 major 1 chord, I'm going to like a sus 1, which is going to be my 1 in the bass, but I have my 6th in my left hand as well. And then I have the 4 in the right hand. So that gives me this type of sus 1 chord, kind of suspended E major chord. And then that 4 resolves down to the 3, 6 resolves down to the 5. Okay, so essentially what I want you to get from this lesson is just that you can use suspended chords to kind of add some more movement to your playing. If you know you're going to play like a dominant passing chord to take you somewhere else, instead of going directly to a dominant or directly to a major chord, you can hit a suspended chord first and then go to your dominant, right? Same on the 6. I could do it on the 2 too. All right, so that's it. Just mess around with that idea of going from suspended to major or suspended to dominant. There's a lot that you can do with this, so spend some time with this concept, unpack it, experiment with it in some songs maybe that you're playing, and I will see you all very, very soon. Have a blessed day.